Hello. Evening. Sorry about that. I was arguing with Facebook. Okay, boomer problems right there. I think that's fairly safe to say. How are you, marvellous mammals? How is everybody doing? In gear, good evening. Dorina, hello. Crouching Otter, hello. Larkbeard, what this? What does it look like? Yeah, that is... It's a spooky Northern Wind. Got to get it done. Got to be done. The British Man Painting Plus. Indeed I am, Evie. You're quite right. Blissful Badger. Hello. Remember when I was thinking of selling some Infinity Armies? Well, I've failed miserably by regaining an old one and buying another. I mean, you adjusted the volume of Infinity Armies which you possessed, which is... Okay, I've run out of ways I can stretch that before it snaps. Purchasing more is not indeed selling. You're quite right, Blissful Badger. Evening. Oh dear Lord. Evening. A bit busy tonight, but I enjoy listening to this in the background. It shall now be quiet for the next 2 hours. Yeah, right. Anyway, how the devil are you all? What's new? What's going on with y'all? I hope you're well. I hope you're having fun. I am working on this guy tonight. Spooky for Northern Wind. We're working towards getting all the stuff done for Northern Wind. And the last time we were together, I was working on skeletons, which was very exciting. And I logged off, and with the intention of sort of, you know, having logged off and been done, sort of thing. And the guy, I don't know, he was about sort of, I don't know, 50% done, something like that. Well, he sort of, that night, mistakes were made, and we kind of spent a few more hours kind of painting him and sort of doing a bit of a base on him as well. And yeah, we got a bit carried away. So, you know, no, he's doing the type of accounting with that model count that gets you in jail. Indeed he has. Well, you could just call it inflation. So the only thing I want to do to this guy is do a little bit more sort of tidying up of the base. I'm going to put some blood on there. We got new toys this week. I don't have time to play with them, but we have new toys. So we went off and we got, where are you? So in this pile of stuff, it's a very small little pot, but I've lost it now. I've got a little pot of yuck, which we're going to use for doing yucky things. I think it's over on the other side. But yeah, I got like some more gore type effects, which we're going to put on the blade, so it's all like, he's all spooky and stuff, and looks like he slaughtered people. But I think he's a reasonable sort of standard. I mean, effectively what you're looking at is a summonable unit slash bad guy for the dungeon crawler game that we're going to play. So he was fine. We kind of called him done, good enough sort of thing. I might finish the base in a second actually, or that will annoy me. But then. So this was last week. This was still last week. I also sort of cracked into this guy as well, and he kind of nearly got finished too. So yeah, that happened. And then I was like, I wonder how you do the spooky stuff. So then I did this spooky stuff on the same night. So when I said good night to you guys, I then painted for about another 2.5 hours and went, oh my God, it's 2 a.m. And then went to bed. So yeah, one of those things where you're having a lot of fun. Hey Nico, how you doing? Are you breathing, big guy? I know this weekend's been slightly traumatic for you. I saw the stats of the Interplanetarium and how OSS did, and I don't know if it's too soon. Can we talk about that yet, or are you still not okay? Northern Wind says let me off to particularly spicy curry. Actually, I had that problem with. There's been a couple that I've had that issue with, and they've all been Corvus Belly. Wind from the north. That was a problem. And Black Wind, that was a problem too. I didn't. Please talk. I went cold turkey. Oh dear. Doing fine, a bit tired. Went to a medieval festival sort of event with lots of artist stands, bands and cosplayers Saturday, and ended up walking so much I got blisters and sore muscles the next day. That's because you're a child and incapable of sort of knowing your own limitations and or doing even the most basic of things. It's the problem with youth, to be honest with you. That's why you need experience and knowledge around you, because otherwise you just sort of fall apart. It's a real issue. Hang on. I want to find the blood stuff that I got now, because it's... Ah, there it is. It's literally the only pot I didn't get. I'd seen some of this around, and I thought we'd give it a try. Because I've not used Dirty Down before. But it's got a really... It's basically... Hang on, let's see if we can pop this open, because it's a bit of a... It's basically like nail varnish, so I'm told. But if you kind of... When you open it up, it's got that kind of really... I think you can see it. Goopy kind of... You know? Effect. So we're going to use that for the blood effects and the stringy stuff. And I got some of their rust effects as well. I have for some reason they have like a massive rust effects around the place. So we've got some of this rust effect as well that they have. And I've been having a really focused week where I work on absolutely everything and finish absolutely nothing. But I was working on a base for Drop Zone, because I hate just the clear sort of for sort of clarity. The bases come like this, and though that's great because you put them on the table and like you can see your mat through them, so it kind of all works that way. And I appreciate that, and that's great. I prefer if it sort of tells a tale. So when I had my original sort of version 1 army, I went off and picked up some N gauge. Let me just checking now. Whoop, hello. Oh, ship down. Oh, that's not ideal. Sorry, a PHR cruiser just swan dived off the back of the table. Anyway, I picked up some N gauge vehicles because they're roughly in the right sort of scale. So I picked some more up again. I picked these guys up from Pendraken Miniatures. These little guys. And they were going to get sliced and diced and put onto the bases with some sort of tufts and all the rest of it. But I tried out the rust effect, 'cause apparently I have lots, but I tried this stuff out and it was very, very orange, so I had to sort of tone it down a bit. But yeah, it worked. It was nice. It's good stuff. So yeah, I don't really talk about that stuff. I know I paint with you guys every week, but it's you and me. We're hanging out, you know. It's not really kind of like. And I'm trying to do more at the moment of hobby paintwork stuff. That's something I'm going to be doing more of. I've had some companies ask me to do it, which is weird. Anyway, so we're going to do some more of that. So I'm going to be, I don't know, should I like do reviews and stuff? I don't know whether I don't know whether it's useful, me talking about this kind of stuff. Thoughts? Should I talk about hobby stuff like effects you can stick on miniatures, and like, because we're using a lot of this at the moment as well, moss deposits, and got more rust over here and streaks and stuff. Is it interesting to talk about that and what it does and how it works, or is it not? Tell me, let me know. It's mostly because I was wearing heavy Doc Martens that go really well with my witch cosplay but don't quite fit well. That's poor life choices right there, Evie, let's be honest. Little Badger, the best route is to find the nearest alehouse and go directly there and then stay there, I've been told. Been told. I did drink a lot of mead. That is entirely... yeah, that's you. Blurry things. Thank you, Dorina. Oh, that reminds me of a question I've been meaning to ask you. Infinity Flyers. What glue do you use to secure the flight stand to the model? I assume super glue is bad because it will frost it up. You're always open to more. Thank you. So, Crouching Otter. The honest to goodness straight answer to that is none, because I own no flyers. I literally own 0 flyers. When I say I hate them, I hate them. I'm planning to actually do a thing soon that will where I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one for you guys. You know, that's kind of the direction we're going in. But I literally do not own any of the flyers because I don't think they're good for the game. Blah 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 blah. But I'm going to pick one up and use it. A very specific one. It's part of Project Archangel, which is going to be coming when the Northern Wind stuff is done, when this Northern Wind stuff is done and we're actually shooting the sessions and those are going out live, then yeah, then you will get that. That will be the next thing, will be a new Infinity Army. Because I have self-control. I'm always... what should we talk about? Oh God, Uncle Mike's in the house. Could go anyway. Hello Mike, how are you? It would be interesting to see a full range of those kind of specialised paint with different effects. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is that they're always like really interesting to use and really varied, especially because a lot of them are enamel. So like these rust streaks from AK are enamel. So if you're not used to working with oils and stuff like that, this can be really weird. But if you know how to use it, it's really, really straightforward. But you also, some of them are enamel, some of them are acrylic. And mixes thereof, and it's, yeah, I'm thinking we're going to do that. I think we're going to do it. I'm going to do a video on doing these bases because they're a fun little base, but they also have, like, this is a tarmac effect that's on here that I've used and then painted up and stuff, and talk about putting this kind of thing together because I think it looks quite nice. I think I don't want it to be the star of the show, but I want it to put character when you've got a miniature on top of it kind of thing. I think it creates narrative effect. It makes it interesting. And I want to talk about how I put that together because I think there's a lot of people coming into Drop Zone version 3 at the moment, so having kind of a this is what you can do with the bases. It doesn't have to be boring acrylic. I think has got value. I think it's useful. And I did a funny thing actually because. Sometimes you realise something, you realise you've been doing a thing and you haven't realised really that you've been doing it until that very moment. And then you're like, well, that's not going to stand. I realised that in every stream that I do, we have red grass living branding every time. And actually, you can't see it, but over here, sometimes you'll see the wet palette that I use, which is also red grass. Frequently I'm advertising red grass for free. So we've actually got an affiliate link from them now. So if you like red grass stuff and you want to buy some more, I have a link that's in the description that you can pick up and support the channel and get good stuff. Because I highly rate, their wet palettes are amazing and I love these as well. I love the fact they come with like, it's under the chat, but they have a colour wheel on them and I can look at it and feel like I know what I'm talking about. I don't, but it sounds great, you know what I mean? Very, 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 makes me sound very professional. Afternoon, Uncle Mike. How is life treating you, my friend? Don't worry about using super glue on flyers. On the bottom of the mini, it will not show. That's true. And on the base, you can repaint it and hide it. True, true. Put some effects on there. Do something interesting. But if it's the see-through stuff, if it's like these, I mean, like Nikra says, most of the time, it's hidden up out of the way anyway, so you're not going to see it. And like you've got a degree of frosting on these bases, as you see there, but then I'm going to cover that in concrete and tarmac effects, so it won't matter. So absolutely. One interesting thing I saw for flyers is using metal rods painted black. Looks really good. Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, it depends which way you want to go with it. When I get mine, which might be this month actually, I won't treat myself and pick it up this month, just because then it's out the way. Because I'm kind of dreading it. I don't want to own a fly, but I also, there comes a point where you've got to say to yourself, if I'm going to sit here and say these are not great, I should run one in anger. I should run one and see whether it is as mucky and filthy and disgusting as I think that it is. It will be, but going to start painting some dark purpley type colours now, because that's what ghosties are coloured apparently in this world. So yeah, I'm going to get one of those, and then we'll look and I'll talk about it then when I've actually got one in front of me that I can compare it with. But those kind of sort of plastic acrylic flight stands can be surprisingly tough. So we shall see. We shall see. Hey, Kazakis Maximus, Mal Winters, hello buddy. How's life with you? Are you good? Hope you are. Hope you're not working too hard. Likewise, you, Kaz, I know you have miniatures to pay for. Or storage for miniatures to pay for, I should say more accurately. Oh, I did one of those classic moments today. This week. I've my drop fleet, PHR fleet, has been somewhat growing. It has been somewhat growing, and I have been buying storage for it from Felter, which is a German case manufacturer. And it actually turns out that they've stopped doing the specific cut cases, and I get why, but they have. So it is what it is. Fine. No problems. So I ordered a last kind of case from them to take all of the last of my PHR fleet and my UCM fleet and stuff like that. Stay still. Stop rolling. Goodness. And banged that on order. And then there was a bit of a delay because they needed to get some last bits produced and blah, blah, blah. It was all fine. No problems at all. Who do you think got bored while waiting for the case and ordered some more PHRs so that when the case turned up, 24 hours later, I actually owned too much PHR to go in the case? That would be me. How we laughed. How we chuckled. Literally, yeah. Yeah, I need another case now. And you can't get them anymore. It's one of those... Why am I like this? Zero self-control. But there we go. It's fine. What's the worst that can happen? So, yeah. But how have you all been anyway? Kaz, how are you? Are you well? What did we think about for the Infinity players out there? What did we think of the announcements at the Interplanetario seminar this weekend? And what did we think of the results? And if any of you feel like I'm saying that just to make Nikor go, Wah! It's a little bit, because I mute myself. It's about to have a deeply emotional response to that question, quite possibly. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I didn't, you know, the seminar was something and nothing, let's be honest. But that's not really surprising. So shortly after Gen Con, you know, what else are they going to announce, you know? Plus they do, let's be honest, Corvus Belli do have a habit of doing everything around the US market. They really do. It's kind of, if you're going to get announcements, they are pretty much always going to be Adepticon or Gen Con. That's when you're going to hear the stuff. And, you know, that's a choice. So I didn't expect much, but it was very much kind of a, here's the profile, and there's a balance update coming, so that's exciting. And everything else you already know. Oh, and we've been going 25 years, which was nice. I mean, congrats to them for that. That's epic, but yeah. I was whelmed. I'm really intrigued by the lore developments. Yes, always. Yeah, 3 new seasons on September 1st. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it a little bit, but yeah. Oh dear, there goes Nico. Yeah. I had to go back to hear the story. Magic. Yeah, of course. I'll believe the seminar news when I see them. We've heard dates before that got moved. Yeah, true that. This year was supposed to be, as Uncle Mike is alluding to without actually saying it. This year we were supposed to get US Ariadne. That was supposed to be a thing. That was what they said last year. They were quite clear on that one. And now they've said, well, next year, super clearly next year. Which, yeah, sure, we'll see. We shall see. I shall not hold my breath. You know, it's fine. I mean, yeah. Whatevs, CB. Oh my goodness. Had a whole weekend of typical game and I'm exhausted. Yes, committing war crimes, as I understand it. Understand correctly, there was some kind of talk about an anniversary book. She says after this one. I didn't, I'll be honest with you, I skimmed through a lot of it. I had a good few friends that were there. and we were getting regular updates from them. And one of them was kind of like, yeah, it was in the middle of the seminar. I decided to go for a beer, which I think said it all, to be honest with you. When you're kind of, yeah, when you decide to pop out for a beer rather than hearing whatever's going on, that tells you how exciting it is. And I get the impression he made the right choice, which, you know, fair enough. But I'm intrigued to see what they do with Spec Ops and stuff like that. But I don't, you know, we're going to hear that soon, I guess, soon/TM, but not quite yet. So, been too hot. Slept most of the day. That sucks, Dorina. It is very hot. The book after the next one, I remember since I asked him to commemorate a community member who passed. Ah, good job, Lapid. That's kind of you. Important thing is that Warcrow team is a completely separate team, not having any effect on Infinity releases whatsoever. We knew this. We knew this, Nico. We've known this since the get-go. I've spoken many times on this channel to the Warcrow team, and they are not the same people as the Infinity team. They were never mixed in. Although why are the Warcrow team doing announcements for Aristea? I do not know. Oh, sorry, what's it? Hexadome Tactics. I do not know. That's a bit odd if you ask me. That was a bit of a, really? All right. So I think you could do, I suppose. Not a choice I'd make, but here we are. What do I know? Excuse me. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see what happens. I was hoping that we'd get some more news about the Red Caps, to be honest with you. I'm quite intrigued by them, especially. I think it's interesting they've spun them off as their own separate faction within Warcry. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Bit of a cheap way to get a 7th faction, if you ask me. But there we go. It's just the world we live in now. Let's take that sort of deeper. Just trying to skimp out, guys. I was trying to do it a different way, but actually I think I need to do it. You in? Yeah, you're in. That's good. I need to do it this way. But there we go. But yeah, I think the 25th anniversary models, sorry, were interesting. I liked the design of the so if you didn't see them, they announced these I guess limited edition miniatures. I guess they will be. Everything has to be limited edition these days. Of like this eagle person and stuff, and they look very cool. They did look very cool. Yeah. Although when I saw the eagle person, I was like, "Oh, new winged elf for Warcry." No. That's Infinity. Oh. Okie dokie then. That's a bit different. Like a bit of variety, that we do. Let's blend this in with some grey, I think. I don't want to make it look a little bit. That's good. That's the colour we want. And where are we? Warcrimes indeed. Mandalorians are disgusting, at least in the disgusting way I played them. Yes. From what you said of the results, yes they were. And no, I've realised I should focus on painting more than keeping track of rules and gaming right now. Taking a short break from the competitive, even fun side of things. Well, fair play, Mr. Welsh. You're supposed to have fun in your hobby. I've stepped away from competitive for the time being, because like you, I'm just like, oh, it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of stress doing the competitive stuff. That's why I'm really looking forward to doing Northern Wind. I'm looking forward to playing this, because although it's semi-competitive, and I'm going to be doing it online, which is horrifically scary, it's not really competitive. It's a cooperative narrative campaign, and that sounds fun. That sounds like the kind of thing I need to do right now. So, but yeah, the competitive just does nothing for me. Especially with Infinity, it's too much like hard work at the minute. I don't want that pressure. So it's nice to have stepped off it for a little bit. Actually, a few months now. It's been nice to sort of step away from that and not feel the need to go through and stay incredibly sort of focused and putting on edges on lists and stuff like that. You can just chill and paint or enjoy the system or whatever you want to do. It's a much nicer way forward. The most fun I had with Infinity recently was when I was doing an intro game with a new member of the community. Because when you join our local community, we just sort of check you out and see what level you're playing at and how you're playing. Just to make sure that you don't... Because, you know, you've had people that come in and they're kind of like, oh yeah, I know the system very, very well. And then you actually get them on the tabletop and you're like, ooh, no you don't. No, you've got that completely wrong. And it's a difficult conversation, but it's better for all rather than them going and getting stuck into the community and then getting absolutely obliterated because somebody thought that they knew what they were doing and therefore played accordingly, you know? But that was a fun little daft game. I ran a stupid list that turned into a little bit of a stompy list. And yeah, fun was had. My side of the table anyway. But... It was a giggly, good sort of list. I had fun with it, but it wasn't competitive. There was nothing, there were no stakes, and for a lot of the game, I was kind of supporting and helping my opponent with sort of decisions and being like, well, if you do that, this unit is going to sort of hard counter you there and all that kind of thing. It was nice to kind of play, but yeah, anyway, not be too hardcore with it. That's kind of my point. So yeah, it was good. Where are we? Also played against Monkeys in Infinity for the first time. Won by the skin of my teeth. Opponent rolled a 14 on a whip 13 trooper. Ouch! Oh, I hate those moments. But yeah, they are insane. And you red face monkeys. The night before I beat, I got a random video on YouTube. The only video on the channel from 20 years ago, a news article about Infinity and Corpus Belli. Awesome. Across all game systems, fair play. Why? The accent. Oh god, indeed. Really care about special ops. I do. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that. Also, Aerostate team is the Warcry team. No. They're not. They're not. That is inaccurate. No comment, Mike. Unfortunately, it seems like the Warcry and Infinity book translators are separate as well. So I understand the Warcry book's translation is way worse than Infinity. Oh, really? That's disappointing. That is disappointing. I have to say, I'm really glad I got the chat all smushed together. I still read everybody's comments, but that's just because that's how my brain works. But it's nice that you guys can now see that I'm gibbering through everyone. So, yeah. Red Caps always planned to do that. I didn't realise they were going off separately. I think it makes sense. Red Caps are separate factions. Always felt weird how Scions were basically two factions in one. Yeah, I know, but they do have a different aesthetic feel. That's true. Oh, it's League On. All right, that's cool. Have expected me some cool special operations stuff. Yeah, no, I've seen them. They're cool. Testing thought. Could the Infinity models be heading towards the size of the Hexagon Legends? God, I hope not. One positive news from JCon Seminar, a ton of Infinity novels in production. That's exciting. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I don't know, man. It's yeah. We shall see. I shall watch with interest. Let's put it that way, because there's what, 7 novels on the way. I shall watch with interest. Hope for good things. Hope for good things. Let's just say that. And fair play anyone that's out there putting a novel out. That is a hell of an achievement and a good thing. But we shall see. We shall see. Do I have the new Ninja models? Nope. I'm trying to avoid buying anything that stood on a roof. I have an allergy. I'm sort of scared of heights, so I couldn't possibly paint anything that's on a roof. It make me too nervous, Mike. It's just can't do it, man. And what's my playing level? Below novice. It's the way forward. Everyone's got to start somewhere, in it. And knowing that you have a long way to go means that you have the whole exciting road ahead of you, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing. Speaking of which, I got a shout out on a 40k channel the other day. That was weird. A good friend of mine reached out and was like, "Did you know you've been shouted out?" And I was like, "What?" Which explained the a bounce in subscriber numbers on the channel. I sort of popped in and I was like, that's gone up more than I expected. And then yeah, a shout out from a 40k channel, and suddenly you're getting followers, which was nice. They were for reference talking about Infinity and how they were learning it, sort of, and getting involved with it, and gave me a shout out for helping and making that possible. So that felt nice. It's nice to. It's the thing that, like, I track. I keep an eye on my subscriber numbers. It doesn't really mean anything, but it shows you what's going on with your channel, whether you're doing stuff that people are finding vaguely interesting to an extent. It's a not really useful metric. And obviously how much sort of ad revenue you get, how many members you get, these kind of things. You can use that and you go, oh, this is how I'm doing. And that's cool. That's kind of a check-in metric. The things that actually make me happy, the things that really kind of give me a sense of pride and accomplishment, is when people reach out to me and they say, I got into the system because of you. And that happens more and more these days. And it's freaking awesome. I love it. And people are kind of like, I've got this hobby and I've got this system because of your channel. It feels brilliant, I've given something to somebody that's made them happy. And that is kind of the best thing you can do in your day, I think. Give somebody a little bit of joy. So that's working for me. Spooky Spooks and here's coming together okay, I think. I don't want to do too much on him. I want him to look sort of spooky and ghost-like, and then so we've got that. That's the noise they actually make. That is legitimately the sound they make. I did see Hexstone Legends minis on 25 Bases TV Office. Cool. I think they did a lot of pushing. Rework that phrase. I know that Corvus Belli pushed it very, very hard and they wanted to succeed. So it has gone out to a lot of places, which is, fair play. They've put a lot of time and effort and money into it. I understand why you'd want that to succeed, candidly. It's kind of the point. Don't do it for fun. So, fair play. I think it's going to prop up in a lot of places over the coming months, and it'll be interesting to see how it does, I think. As I am on record as saying, it's not something for me. It doesn't interest me, so you won't be seeing it here. When the shout went out for who wanted it, the answer for me was no. Besides which, it's not like I don't have enough to be getting on with. As it says, paint behind the chat. That's good. Look at the quality of the professionalism on this channel. This is why they come. This is why you guys are here, because you're like, wow, will we actually be able to see what he's doing? Probably not. Will it be amazing? Probably not. But we're still going to do it. We're still going to be here. How bad can it be? Hold my freaking paint water. But yeah. Nothing against. If you like Aristair and stuff, then fair play to you, but it's just not my it's not my jam. It is not my jam at all. Busy time over. Time to relax, continue building Exodite dinos. Or I could start building my Warsnall Sodomata shrines that just arrived. Choices. Dude, there is a whole group of people in the chat who are in Europe who would be so jealous of you building anything from Warsnall, because that stuff's gorgeous. So. Oh, at the CB offices. Oh, okay. 25 bases. Yeah, well, could be. They need more comics. Meh. The new Ninja models are uninspiring in my opinion. They're fine. The problem is we in Red Veil we hit the sort of new style for the ninjas. That's where the bow ninja came out, and I remember when that dropped, it was like, oof, that is a miniature. That is a gorgeous piece of work. I love that. And the new ones follow that design. So we've seen it. Not being rude, but we've seen it. We've seen this style, and it's great and it's lovely. But we have seen this. So, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things where it's kind of, they can't consistently reinvent the wheel. It's a lovely design. Thematically, it makes sense. Sure, I like it. The only thing that I have against it, as I've said many, many times before, is on frickin' roofs. Just no. I have no interest in having miniatures stuck on pieces of roof. It does nothing for me. But there we go. It's not all about me. As I said in the September release thing, it's nice to see that the roofing industry is doing so well in the far future. It's good. I'm glad they've survived. You know, it's good. Yeah. Anyway, sarcasm over for at least a couple of minutes. Looking at our own projects, it doesn't matter where the model is held or if it's in focus. Yeah, I know, but I kind of like supposed to be. I want to avoid turning this onto autofocus because then it just completely goes berserk and focuses on everything, and then zips around all over the place, and it's just seasickness inducing. So I do want this to look. I do want it to kind of be like this, but also I want it to look nice for you guys. So. We're still learning. I don't classify myself as a live streamer. I don't spend enough time, I think, doing it to classify myself as that. But, you know, we try different things. We have a chat that works now, so that's freaking awesome. Let's be honest. Super proud of myself. Ashley just picked up the Aristair minis for cheap because they look fun. And you'd be proud of me. I put 2 armies up for sale and some to raid. Yeah, but Kaz, I've got $5 that you end up being the one that buys them from yourself, and that you get a bad deal. I fully anticipate that as being a thing that happens in the future, my friend, and I mean that with all love and respect. What are you selling? Which ones have gone up? Impress me. Got lucky and had a friend of mine come over from the US, so I borrowed parts of the luggage. Oh, lucky. I'd like to see the entire character rollout schedule for Hexes and Legends before I commit. If CB probably would too. Oof. Anyway. It's been a day. Yeah, I mean, they plan out well ahead of time, so you know, there's going to be plenty of stuff coming. Like, I wouldn't be concerned about that. The thing for me is I'm just not interested in it. It's just, I'm not interested in it at all. When I look at, a good friend of mine calls it the fizz. When I look at certain systems, I absolutely get the fizz. You know, when you're like, oof, that's a problem. Oh no, I'm going to have to buy into that. That's a real issue. I wasn't planning to get another system, but now I clearly am. Oh well, get that real fizz feeling off of it. And I had that. I've had that for a while with like Drop Fleet that I'm finally getting into and stuff like that. And actually today, Kaz will be super proud. I saw the new Jedi Bark Speeders for Star Wars Legion, and that was just like, oh my god. There were happinesses all over the place, let's put it that way. I was just very happy. But when I look at Aristair, I'm like, all right, cool. It's just, I'm not, yuck in your yum. It's just not for me. It's just not something that inspires me or interests me. And I'm learning I have to say no to things more, to be honest. The problem is, I'm one of those people that, if people are like, hey, can you help me out with this, like on this channel? then I'm like, yeah, sure. What do you need? I'm happy to support. I'm happy to assist. And it's got me into some more. In fact, that's my entire career. It's not just this channel. It's my entire career. Has been a whole bunch of yes is the answer. Now what's the question? And it's led me into some very bizarre and exciting and interesting places. But I've carried that through to this, and there's certain things that, like, over the years, I've got involved with that I've been like, well, that was an error. We shouldn't have said yes to that one. And you kind of, you figure out a way of negotiating your way out of it or navigating your way out of it. So I need to be more, I'm trying to be more conscious of, as the channel gets bigger and we get more interest in working with us, that I don't keep just saying, yay, because that'll get you in trouble 10 times out of 10 these days. And I'm in enough trouble as it is, just generally through existing. I don't need to make my stuff worse. So, yeah, Aristair, or Hexstone Legends, sorry, was just a big fat, that's not for me, cheers. I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm not gonna take the thing and then not do anything with it. There was one company that sent me, in fact, sorry, that's not true. There are two companies that have sent me things over the years and I haven't done reviews. But in my head, I haven't done them yet because they are going to happen. I just haven't got around to them yet for various reasons. And yeah, they will happen because I said I would. And yeah. And I really will, which is just bizarre. Anyway. Trying to keep these guys, I'm trying to get these guys hammered through and out because I want them nice on the tabletop, but they don't need to be. These aren't kind of focal point miniatures, if you know what I mean. They just need to look nice enough on the tabletop, so when they're getting beaten up by the good guys, they didn't look trash. So that's kind of what we're going for. Good enough, not perfect. Because I'm not really a perfect painter anyway, let's be honest. I'm really struggling. This new project for Infinity, it's been kicking around. I've owned it for a little while. It's been sat in the cupboard waiting to go. Struggling with the paint scheme. I'm sure it'll come to me when I start sticking it all together because there are so many miniatures I need to stick together. But I've got I think I've got 3 more miniatures to buy, maybe 2. Depends on whether I want a specific one. I kind of don't, but I kind of am a completionist, so I probably will. But I think maybe when I start sticking them together, maybe then it will start making sense what colour it should be. I don't know. We shall see. Otherwise, I can keep Aristair minis and wait for the character update cards. Yeah, fair play. Damn harsh. I decided my moving away from Next Wave, considering they came out with a new limited edition. I'm more proud. Bravo. Well done. Not harsh. Said with love. Also decided I'm selling my large clone collection for Legion. Woof. Don't tell me that. Although I have a lot. I have a lot already. I bought the Mandalorian books and I didn't even like Star Wars that much. That is a problem gaming bench right there. I would just go to the Old Republic and not stick with the original settings so much. Yeah, don't get me started. There's so much to be explored, but they just keep bringing back Darth Vader and Boba Fett. Yeah, true. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm going to just go stop it. Yeah, there's so much that going for the popular stuff that will sell limits systems so much. It really does. But don't get me started on that. Tears and tantrums and all sorts of things. There are so many more interesting things that can be done. And we end up getting the same stuff regurgitated at us left, right and centre. It's very frustrating. But here we are. Thankfully, it's not serious stuff. It's only wargaming. Blasphemy. I said the thing out loud. No. Alright, so this is, he's got little 2. Yep, come here. 2 little things around his wrist, apparently. These miniatures are insane. I love the Eldfall stuff. But painting them is it's intimidating as. That's how I used to feel about Infinity. Oh, jeez, see, there we go. So I used to feel about Infinity, just kind of like, okay, here we go, we can do this, big guy. And I'm now kind of fine with it. I'm like, yeah, give me the brush. I'm going to attack that miniature. It will be fine. I have that now with Eldfall minis. It's like, oof, okay, I'm going to be. Oh god, look at the detail. But that's why we love it. And who saw the new Sand Kingdoms release today for Eldfall Chronicles? Oh my goodness. Isn't it pretty? It's pretty. I'm hoping to get a copy of that soon. We shall see how that goes. I have a load of Eldfall stuff coming soon anyway. I'm completing my Northern Wind collection. So I can have 100% of the miniatures to go with the when we do the playthrough. So that's going to be cool. Looking forward to that, even if not looking forward to painting all of them on a time frame. Especially because some of them are Mahusif, but you know, first world problems. At least then they'll be fully painted, and you know, that'll be sick. But yeah, they are quite intimidating in their way. Oh, thanks, Dalinair. That's really kind. Thank you for subscribing on Twitch. That's Prime. See, hello, buddy. Thank you. There are 6 models for Darth Vader in Legion. That's insane. That's absolutely crazy. How are you, Dalinair? What's new? Crisis Protocol has the opposite problem where they refuse to release different versions of the same character. Oof. I'll buy official ones if they ever get around to it, but until then, 3D prints will have to do. Yeah. Look at weird stuff like Gwenpool instead. That's some fine looking ghost fire. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. As I said at the start of the stream, I actually did this last week. When I said that I was going off and going to bed, I didn't. I stayed on and hammered out another skeleton pretty much, and did the fire for this guy because I was like, well, that's really difficult. I want to see how I can, you know, how I make that work and all the rest of it, and then just paint it up. It's one of those. Well, good job. It's 2 AM. Never mind. But I was happy I did it. I was happy with how it turned out. So that's the important thing. It looked pretty enough. You do some OSL type effects on this. I suck at OSL. It never quite goes the way that I want it to. Smokey! Love him. It's great. So many details. So much stuff. Unbelievable. But who else is painting tonight? And if you're painting, if you are hobbying at the same time as me, do bang it in the chat as to what you are painting. And if you're working, I'm so sorry to hear it. That's very disappointing. Hopefully your day is ending soon. It's when so many of your members are like across the world, which is still bewildering to me. I love the fact you guys come and hang out on a Monday. I love the fact you watch my stuff, but I love the fact you come down and hang out on a Monday. But it's so strange to me, and you have people around the world going, "Oh yeah, I've come to watch your stuff." It's very, yeah, very odd. I had a chat with somebody the other day about like doing social media stuff, and yeah, it was very weird to have answers for people when they have questions like, "What's it like to do this?" Well, what's it like to live stream? It's, yeah. Can you talk to yourself for 2 hours? Welcome to the party. Use a big rush. Tempting. How lovely are the new Sand Kingdoms? Oh, don't even go there down there. They're beautiful. They are beautiful. Don't go. Kaz, you're always working, buddy. I know, you know, we're a little bit out of sync time-wise, but you're always working. And committing more crimes at wargaming evenings. Okay, not entirely true. Always working. See, they've kind of gone blue. I don't want to go blue. I'm sort of referring to the official scheme as I'm doing this. And I don't want to go the direction they went. I don't like it that much. I'll do it a different way. One thing I did see last week is I went to see The Odyssey. That was a lot of fun. We enjoyed that. It's one of those great examples of you get to see how people's takes differ. Because I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It's possibly my favourite movie now for a whole bunch of reasons. Some of them incredibly pretentious, but some of my other buddies in the UK had seen it and they're like, oh, the editing was a bit off and the pacing was a bit naff. And I was just like, it was great, shut up. Always want to take criticism of my favourite things well. But it is, I always find that interesting when other people are like, oh, I found this. I saw somebody talking about a war game that shall not be named the other day. And I had to stop myself commenting, have you even played this game? I played this game and I don't recognise any of that. Very strange. But, you know, people's experiences differ. And some people are just wrong. Anyway. But yeah. It's weird stuff, dudes. It's weird stuff. Looks alright. That's looking okay, isn't it? Boop. Boop. No, I said boop. Thank you. I'm painting some more Yu-Ching to get ready for a tournament. Nicely done. Good, good. What Yu-Ching are you painting, Yuda? I don't mind painting magical fire, but painting real fire is super hard. Mr. Jin is going to be a challenge for sure. Yes, yes, he is. I'm kind of grateful that Sand Kingdom is the only faction that I don't want to have anything to do with. It's one of those like, that's a gorgeous miniature, but God, I'm not painting that. It's just not happening. No, thank you. Well, I say that, I'm probably not. But those new, yeah, the new stats. The new cards are amazing. I don't know if you haven't seen it. They're out, and they are so cool. The new Sand Kingdom stuff is so good. I saw it, to be honest with you, I saw it for the first time several weeks back, and when it came in, I was just, it was the, normally I have no issue not talking about stuff that I see early. It's like, yeah, it's fine. This was like freaking trauma. I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this, but I can't, and it's rubbish. Again, first world problems, but now that it's out in the world, it's like, I've been knowing it for a little while, so it's old news now. Life of a utility manager, I work at 60 to 70 hours a week. I know you do. It's crazy, but yes, I saw you had the Thundercats PDF. God, I remember Thundercats. They're supposed to be making lots of movies as well, but they never have got round to it, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I love, don't get me wrong, a lot of love for the Thundercats here, but I'm not sure we need live action Thundercats. I'm not sure that's a thing the world needs, if you know what I mean. They're a bit niche, and it could get weird. Just my opinion, just my view. But yeah. Right, where are we? About there. Somewhere in here, there's some little stripes that I need to hit. There we go. Sorry, concentrating quiet noises. There we go. A bit more light on that actually. That's not quite the right colour for me. I'm not happy with that grey. Need to turn that up a little bit. It's a bit bland right now. Better. That's why buying miniatures is my fun time. Not enough time to paint or play regularly. Yeah, fair play. Not painted in weeks. It's just been too warm, but it's cooling, so hopefully we can do some later in the week. Sounds like a plan. can buy miniatures instead of painting miniatures. It can be. Yes, got to collect them. But I get that. Like I said, like Project Archangel, when that comes to the fore, like there is I have a hobby cupboard where I store my stuff. And I don't mean like it's got miniatures. It's got miniatures in it, but it's mostly like, I don't know, tokens and stuff like that. It's kind of that kind of stuff. But it's also where I store my to-be built miniatures. So it's where all of my, and all of is the correct term, all of my Star Wars Legion is. It's in my hobby cupboard, just waiting to be done. This Archangel army for Infinity takes up an entire shelf. Nothing else in there takes up an entire shelf. It's just like, okay, I've maybe gone a bit excessive. But yeah, you get the whole, like, if you don't have time to paint, you can buy more miniatures, that's fine. That looks okay. I think he's looking alright. He's shaping up alright. Do the silver at the front there. It's kind of like a very tired bamboo type colour. And some light mid-greys on the hands. Let's just quickly flip those over because that's easily done. Cover that off easily enough. Right. Did I say I'm out of white primer and out of love? Oh no! Archangel's and the X-Men. Nope. I'd love to see that area. Oh god. It's got the amount of stuff inside of it. So to be clear, it's like an IKEA cupboard full of stuff, which, when you see it, is one thing, but when you come to appreciate that over there is 2 shelves of books and then a pile of, oh my god, I forgot I even owned that, other stuff underneath it, and then I've got above our garage area is where all of my terrain lives, in boxes, and there's some other armies up there actually. Yeah. Yeah. I don't display anything because otherwise there'd be no space for the kids and they'd be so offended. But yes, Daddy needs you to move out. He needs more space for miniatures. I'm sorry, you've got to go. One of us would. Don't think it'd be the kids though. I think it would be me. Let's smudge that back in. It's a little bit, coming a little bit strong. These arms are a bit odd, the detail that are on them, but that's okay, we can make it work. Some more of the purple bits there. I kind of want to get the kind of purpley pink colour that they've got on the official ones on here, but I can never find a pink that's vibrant enough, or a magenta, whatever it's supposed to be. And you look at something and like, that's not that, not that, something different, a little bit brighter maybe. Can't quite find it. And this is actually I thought this was fire, but it's not. It's like a little belt thing that's kind of knotted over there. Yeah, that's cool. So that goes under. Oh right, actually that's that bit. All right, we're making sense. I love the voyage of discovery that sometimes you're on with a miniature. You're like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what this bit is. Okay, I'm following that with a bright. Oh, okay, I see what that is now. I got you. But yeah, the new Sand Kingdom stuff, there's going to be a video out this week on that. I'll pop that out into the wild for you guys. I'm going to be doing the normal thing that I do with that, so there'll be a review ahead of probably an unboxing and then a full Sand Kingdoms breakdown, which I'm not looking forward to because it's Sand Kingdoms, so bleh. But it's what the people want, so it's what you're going to get. It's the way the world is. Dao Ying Operative, nicely done. It is a bit sad, but then, to be fair, the Dao Ying is normally in a marker state unless things go incredibly Wahoonie shaped. So, you can be forgiven for not painting a Dao Ying. That is a legitimate thing, in my considered opinion. Bit of black, but not all of the black. Boop, boop. Yeah, that's the stuff. Do you love it? Do you love it when you mix colour and you think that's the exact colour of manky nastiness I wanted? I love it. It's the exact colour of manky nastiness I wanted, and I love it. Boop. I do love that when I sort out the focus and then I move the miniature straight away. Sorry. Right. Is anyone else as well finding that this year is going past insanely quickly? Like, even by comparison to other years, this one's got a bit of a wiggle on. And my wife sort of said to me, oh, we need to plan out Christmas. I was like, no, we don't. What are you talking about? We've got months. She was like, 3? Sort of getting on for. It's 4 at the moment, but it's getting down to 3. When you've, because we have like family in other parts of the world, you know, we have to travel and stuff. So, 1 second, peeps. Yeah. Just gained a dog, not entirely sure why, but the dog is here, so that's exciting. Anyway. So yeah, so we have to start planning ahead of time because, you know, if you don't book your tickets till late when you're travelling, it's blooming expensive. So yeah, but that was a bit of a shock to the system. I'm like, it's just ages till Christmas, but apparently there is not. Not when you got tickets to book. Yeah, there we go. Back where I am. I did click the button again. That's good. How many minis are left from the box before you were able to start game 1? Well, that's a complicated question. It's not really a complicated question at all. The main things that I need to do at the moment... Right, so... Ow, I just stabbed myself in the hand. That was not good. So, essentially, to do game 1, the guys that are playing with me, their minis are done, which is great. This is good news. I need to finish this guy off. He's nearly there. And maybe I should have done him tonight, but... So he's nearly there. I've got to finish him off. He's got like this arm to do. Got the bandaging around here, a bit on the shoulder, a bit on the butt, and his hair and this stuff. And then his base needs to be done, and then he's finished. And then we're going to put some of that bloody gore on here, because this is not quite as nasty as I want it to be. So we have him to do. We have his body to do, but this little bundle of cheerful happiness, he is actually going to be shot as my first like proper painting guide. Yeah, so we're doing a proper painting guide with him, which is going to go out in various formats. So there's that. And then I just have the little detail of my actual hero. I need to get him done too. So of the 3 miniatures that I need to do, I'm painting another one. And yeah. I actually started the arguably most important one. It's this level of organisation that works for me. There is a reason for it, which closer to the time will become clear. But right now, we're kind of working in a little bit of... what appears externally to be illogical in the way that I'm approaching things, but there is a madness to my method. So trust me, it will all make sense in the end. It will indeed. Do you ever go into the garage and find something you've not seen in years and be like, I completely forgot I even bought this, and it's as sudden as the day you did? Or is that just me? That is just you. I'm tend to be fairly locked in on stuff, and I will go through periodically my collections just to make sure that I know where I am. I know what I've got. Just because I don't like, as has been widely discussed and lamented, I don't like having stuff. Stuff doesn't make me happy. So if I've got a thing, then I should have it for a reason, and therefore I stay quite on top of what I do and don't own and that kind of thing. So I'm pretty good at that. I think possibly once or twice. The most things that I'm surprised by, if I'm honest, are my wife's collections, because she's a wargamer as well, and she owns stuff. And sometimes, like, I'd completely forgotten. So for Infinity, she is a Bakunin main player. That's her whole thing, is Bakunin. Murder Nuns all the way. And she's very, very good with them. Well, she was very, very good with them. She hasn't played in 5 yet, so it shows you how long it's been since she's put dice to table. But we were talking about something the other day. A friend of mine selling off some Toha and stuff, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I should sell mine." And I was like, "I completely forgot that you own." She has a very substantial Toha army. It started off as a spiral core army, and kind of built up from there. Spiraled, in fact. But yeah, she has this whole like massive Toha force that she's like, "Yeah, no, I can get rid of that. I don't really like playing them, so they can go to a new home." Which is wife speak for, "Could you sell my Toha, please?" So I need to get on with that and sell her Toha at some point. So if anybody wants any Toha, if anyone wants an obscene amount of Toha, would be more accurate, because when my wife buys stuff, I tend to just go off and sort out the rest of it for her. So she'll be like, "Oh, I want to get into that," and then when I have ascertained that she actually does want to get into it and she's quite serious about it, I'll tend to go and source all of the stuff so that she can do all of the things with it and paint up as she goes. So yeah, her Toha army is quite extensive. Her spiral core, technically, army is quite extensive. That needs a new home. I think your wife and kids will pack your bags and say out. Wrapped Thundercat instead of Volt. Fair play. 7 out of 10, too much sand. Thank you. Scrap Thundercat shooting Voltron instead. Somewhat. This month went quite quickly, but I think that's just because I've got vacation. That would do it. It's been a long year, but I'm trying to survive these last few days to make it to vacation. Nice, dude. Are you off anywhere? Happens when you get older. Thank you. So easy to tell you are European. I don't like stuff. Said no American ever. Yeah, it's just stuff. I mean, it's. I think it's a lot of a me thing. There's a lot of Europeans that don't get it as well. Find me bewildering and confusing. It's just generally. It's not even just about the stuff thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think there comes a point, if you haven't played something for a certain period, I've discussed this infinitum before, but if you haven't played something for a long period of time, you're just storing it. It's not a hobby, it's just storage. And I find that, I don't know, there comes a point where I'm kind of done with that, and I don't want to do that anymore. Because I could have something in there that I like and that I want. So they go to a new home. And the person that gets them is happy, and I don't have to deal with it anymore, so I'm happy, and it's kind of a win-win situation. So I invariably then take that opportunity to fill that piece of storage space with more stuff that I did actually want, which is somewhat of the point. Whatever you own should make you happy. Turn this up a little bit. I'm going to make this like metal area a bit brighter, because I'm going to then make it dirty as hell. So if I sort of really turn it up a bit, then hopefully that'll make the grubbiness work even better. We shall see. The theory's sound, the execution will be terrible. But at least it'll be consistent, people. Did you meet your wife at an event? Did she knock you out of a tournament? I taught my wife to play. No, we didn't. We met in the middle of a field. That's a very long story. No, not even at an event in the middle of a field. But no. She wasn't a gamer. She'd seen like 40k stores and stuff, and she'd been interested in them, but like female, so therefore you can't do it. And I was running a community at that point. So initially she'd stay home, but then she was like, oh, I'll come down and meet everyone. And so she came down and met everyone, and then she'd watch. And then one day she was like, can I get a demo? And I was like, you can. And then I've regretted that ever since. So there's that. I seriously, I can't remember the last time I beat her. I mean, I'm not a bad player on Instant Imagination. I'm a pretty good player, actually. But it's not even... One of my friends said to me once, oh, you just let her win, she's your wife. And I'm like, no, I'm really trying over here. She absolutely battered me for the 5th time in a row. It's just one of those things. She's, when she doesn't think about it, a pretty handy player. In fact, the only battle report I think we have for Infinity on the channel is her smushing my face in during N4. Sorry, spoilers, but it's been a while. It's been several years. So, yeah. She's a very handy player. Very capable. Not to be underestimated. And what I used to love as well is you'd occasionally get people come in and be like, oh, a girl that plays Infinity. Like, yeah, tell you what, have a game against her. Have a novel experience of playing against her. And then sort of an hour or so later go over and just see a grown man in the corner shaking. It's like, yeah, nah, she does that. That's the effect she has. That's the violence that my then girlfriend brings to the game. So it was about girls in the game. But different times, hopefully. Boop. Fly down to Florida on Saturday. Week at Disney. My yearly... Nice. Holy ties to the mouse and appease the wife. That's nice, dude. So after how long is a grey pile of to-do just stuff? Because I'll definitely paint it at some point, really, I promise for sure. I tend... So it doesn't matter... To me, it doesn't matter if it's painted. The painting is not the thing. It is whether it has actively been played with. If it has actively been hobbied to some extent, in any way, shape or form with. And it varies. I mean... This whole kick recently started because there were things that I had not used and had been sat in boxes for literal years. I'm like, well, at that point, that is just stuff. But also, I think it's also whether when you look at it, you think, yes, that's the thing that I definitely want. And like, if I look at something like, oh, cool. No, that's not a good enough reason to keep hold of it, because that's just like... It's just a thing that you're like, that's interesting. It's why, I mean, like, I'm a huge Alien fan. This has been discussed on the channel before, but I used to have Another Day in the Court, that board game, and I sold it because while it was cool enough to own kind of thing, I was never going to play it because it was a bad game. It was just a bad game. There was never going to be a point where I was like, oh, must play that. So I was just storing it. Yeah, you know, you get a feel. Everyone has their own limit, and for me, it's if I haven't played it, if seeing it doesn't make me happy, and I don't sort of look at it and think, oh yeah, I can't wait to do that, then I'm not going to do that. That's just simply not going to be something that's ever going to happen. Like when I look at my drop fleet, I'm aching to pay that. I'm absolutely desperate to get that painted and get it on the table and stuff. But I need to do these baddies at the moment, so we're going to get that done and then we're going to move on. Because we're a grown-up and we can make grown-up decisions. But like, if there was something that I was not so keen about, if I wasn't feeling like the buzz for it, then yeah, it can go. Because it's just stuff. It's a very nebulous description, but I hope it makes some sense. Somewhere down the line. Yeah, we've got more flame. I missed some flames. I missed an entire patch of flames just here on my little dude. Let's get those done. Spooky fire. Yay! I need a really strong pink to go on the top of these. Top of these bits of the armor, but I don't think I have one. I really need a really poppy one. I've got one that's glowy neon, but that's not what I want. Know what I mean? It's a problem. First world problems, people. Let's put some of this purple on this, actually. So I need to get some slight colour modulations on this hat, otherwise it's just going to look very flat and boring. Bit better. Straight away. But yeah, that's starting to look okay, isn't it? I think that's looking alright. I think it's looking suitably spookified. Alright, I need to find a pink, people. I need another drink. I'm running out of liquids. Oh my goodness. How do I cope? What else? What other news have we had this week? What other stuff's been going on? I've been watching the purported death of GW for the 50th time this year. Dear Lord. Some of my compatriots in the wargaming sphere online are very funny because they're just like every 15 minutes, GW's dead, what happens next? You know? I mean, it gets you clicks, I guess, but... Ooh, what's that? You're new. Aha! Now that is, I don't have this with miniatures, but apparently I have it with paint. Completely forgotten I owned this one. Let's have a look at this. Boop. I think that'll do the job. I think we can work with that. Especially if I blend it with some purple and we can sort of bring it up from there. See how this looks on the... Ooh, unshaken is how that looks on there. This is honestly me shaking paint, I promise. For me, it is the painting mostly. I have loads of D&D minis, which makes the enthusiasm about painting it, seeing if I can make it look great for one session. Once used, I could just give them away. Yeah, if that's your hobby, if that's the thing, if the painting is the thing, fair play. New game comes out, YouTube thumbnail, is this 40k's worst nightmare? Yes! Gaming bench. All the frickin' time. The party's over for GW, what's next? Or it's something about Cavill. Because clearly Cavill. He played Superman and he rolls D6s. Anywho. You're not supposed to punch down. Ooh, I went there. Anything but GW. So it's going to be a bit too... This might actually be a bit too pinky pink. Maybe. Let's have a look. No, that might actually work nicely. That might be the exact effect I'm going for. Well, go me for buying random pink paints. Yeah, that's kind of alright. I mean, it could maybe be a little bit brighter, but I think we could make that work. I don't necessarily want it as vibrant as the studio scheme. It's like they have on the studio scheme, like the skeletons have all glowy eyes and stuff, and I don't know. I know it's all the magic and things, and I could do it because I guess these have kind of got the magic-y stuff on them with the smoky stuff, but I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. I don't like that on those for reasons unknown to anyone else but my sense of taste, such as it is. But I don't know, I don't like to do the glowy eye stuff there, so I'm deviating from the studio scheme for my own personal ends. But I think that pink stands out enough. I think that's quite bright enough. It's interesting. Poppy enough. It's supposed to be around this arm as well. There's a couple of things there. It's like a strap around the upper arm there. Supposedly. Right, there's one there, I see it. Stand back, everybody. We're going in. I think maybe I should blend this down with purple, but I don't actually want... I don't want to spend that huge amount of time on it. It's not really what I'm looking to do. That's flame on there. I was like, oh, he's got a bit of armor on his wrist. He doesn't. It's flame. This is all flamey stuff here. Right, that makes a bit more sense. Right. I mean, this is looking alright. I think this is looking okay, don't you? What do you think? Would you be insulted seeing this on the table when we're doing the playthrough? Would you be like, oh God, Hydra, what did you do? What did you do? God's sake, man, take it away from my eyes. They burns. Or would you be kind of like, that's cool? I saw that video. I don't know why I bother clicking that now and then. Same. GW has been expanding a lot for a company that has been dying for more than a decade. True that. There's no way Joe will ever fall, barring UK descendants of adding Korean riots, and even then they'll probably move to some other location. I don't know. I don't think they are too big to fail yet, and they are certainly dropping some clangers at the moment. So there will come a point where they will need to evolve, I think. But we shall see how it goes. It's always interesting to see how things sort of pan out over time. Right, let's get this greeny. This is possibly one of my two favourite colours, this kind of really yellowy green. That and graphene grey from Scale 75. This is Scorpic. Scorpy green. Scorpy green is just, I love this stuff. More than is reasonable for a grown man to love a pigmented acrylic paint. But it's good stuff. It makes me happy. I like the effect it has. It's very gratifying, because as soon as you put it on miniature, it just goes kaboom! What are we doing? Everybody wants a bit of that. Everyone wants a little bit of, you know, whoosh, kaboom. Right, where are we? We're going to be running the Rat Queen's The Hangover on the 26th, but I have to get a breast screening the same day. Oof. Heavy day. Heavy day, Dorina. With 40k, Dawn of War 4 and Total War coming out within a year, new TV series, there's just too much momentum. It's on a completely different scale compared to the other miniature games. Yeah, that's true. I don't even know if there's another tabletop game that's got a video game based on it. I guess Hexadome counts. Yes, it does. From a certain perspective, yes, it does. I think there's been other ones out there over time, but yeah, it's... GW is a juggernaut, but I don't know. I guess I'm just cynical towards anything that's a real strong example of late-stage capitalism at this point. If you get me, and if you don't worry about it. That's looking alright. They will lobby the government to teach kids the expensive plastic toys that you need to build and paint yourself as a normal part of healthy adult life. True that. Yeah, well, StarCraft was a game first, and then a war game. I think that's the other way around, you know. Oh, that's not the colour that I want. That's not the green. That's not the green I'm looking for. Which one am I after? This one, I think. I think it's this one. I went for a dark green, and I don't want a dark green. I want kind of a turquoise. I think this is the right one. Map it. Let's try that. I should tone it down a little bit. There you go. That's the stuff. Whee! Better. Better on camera. Now, I need to put some sort of OSL type effects using the turquoise under here, because it's all glowy. That. I just need a little bit in this shoulder as well. It's kind of glowy from the stuff above it. To thin it out a little bit. It's a bit thick at the moment. Glaze it down some. And a little bit, actually I can put a little bit of the Scorpy in there. Just to brighten up the edge. Come off it. It's good enough for government work, I think. Yeah, where else have we kind of got that? I got it there a little bit. There a little bit. On the edge of here a little bit. There we go. Smudge that off a little bit. It's looking alright. I think he's looking, well, I think they are looking at, I think they're looking fine. Bot Action. Bot Action does have a game now, you're quite right, that's true. Hey Cosmic, how are you? Good to see you. Yep, goes well. Goes busy. Henrik, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. That's very kind. Yep, we are making progress towards the Northern Wind, the completion thereof. Good to see you. Cosmic, how have you been? How's your week been, buddy? What's new with you? There's a bit more purple. Oh, I'm almost at a point where I'm going to call this done. I just need to do some like rust effects and some dirty sort of grubbiness in there, I think, to make that look a little bit more gross. But yeah. And of course, because you have to do the thing these days, don't you? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you are on Twitch, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. If you've got Prime membership, then do consider using that, because you can use an Amazon Prime membership to subscribe to the channel and all that kind of good stuff. So do consider doing that, please. That really helps me. If you're on YouTube, you'll find in the description now there's an affiliate link for Redgrass Games, because, yeah, I keep promoting it by having the blooming mat on my screen. So if you do buy something from them, if you do want to buy one of the wet palettes and stuff, which I would swear by, to be honest, the everlasting wet palettes are amazing. Then please do it via the affiliate link and chuck some, you know, coins at your dice god. What can I say? You may or may not receive extra good dice in a game in the next 12 months as a result of that. That's as far as I'm prepared to go on that one. And if you can become a channel member or join the Patreon, that's great too, because then we get to do lots more stuff and you get early access to stuff and all that kind of stuff on YouTube and things. And you get access to the Discord, which is lovely, because there's a lovely bunch of mammals on there. Genuinely lovely human. Don't know why they hang out with me, but lovely human beings over on the Discord. So do consider doing that too, because that's cool as well. But yeah, I think that's everything. Oh no, you can buy merch. I also have merch, t-shirts and like painting cups and stuff, so you should totally check that out. Link in the YouTube description. I need to figure out, I need to do more with Twitch actually. Spend more time doing that. Now I've got the chat working properly. Maybe we can start doing that. It's never ending, this work. It's just terrible. I don't know how I cope. You guys are very lucky with all the time I spend on this stuff. Just for your entertainment. Just for your entertainment. You lucky ducks. Him. What do you think? What do we think? Do you think that looks alright? I think that looks alright. It's kind of nice. Right, I need a scrappy brush. Scrap brush. You're enamel, aren't you? I don't really want to use you right now. I'm going to use you, I think. Although this is very strong, wasn't it? I remember this being very, very strong. I'm going to use this. Been making a lot of progress on the avatar. That's nice. Is that a new style avatar or an old style avatar? Because they're both awesome. Remember the original one. Very, very cool. Oof. Very cool miniature. Is that? I'm just trying to. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm figuring out what's going on. Oh, that helps a lot. Now this is enamel, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, don't sniff it. That's the thing you don't do. You don't sniff the enamel. Sniffing the enamel is a bad idea. Ah, this is that stuff. Right, so we're just going to put some like rust effects on the blade and things so it looks a little bit more aged and a bit more sort of grubby. That's why I wanted to make the metal work a bit brighter around the top here so then I can age it off a little bit. Make the metal look like it's really going to give you tetanus. Okay, that is good for the streaks. I like using the rust streaks because it's kind of got that old school typhus corrosion type feel to it. I like that. It's nice. Green flames are looking great. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm kind of happy with them too. Which was a bit of a surprise. As I said earlier in the stream, last week after I finished the stream, I sort of kept painting because it was just working. I was just in that vibe, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just painting, you're like, yep, this is working. Nobody disturb me, everyone step back. Put this orangey kind of stuff over the top, and suddenly you've got quite a rusty old manky blade that you wouldn't want to get stuck in you, to be honest with you. I think that's nice. Can you focus on the thing I'm asking you to focus on? That'd be great. Look, that bit there. There we go. Do that. That looks alright. You realise your white spirit's outside, so we're going to have to deal with that in a minute. One problem at a time. Thankfully that takes a bit of drying, so... Actually, I'm going to use this guy. One more bit of rust effect. Because why not do 3? That's the question. There we go. There you go. Now I'm happy. That's suitably rusty. That is definitely going to give you tetanus. You get stabbed with that. You don't want that in your life. I mean, no one's gets stabbed anyway, but... New-ish. I'm newish to the game, so getting my hands on the old one would be difficult. Yes, it would. And it would be very expensive. Captain Castle, hello, young man. How are you? Haven't seen you in a little while. How you been? What's the latest? How's the lad doing as well? Progressing well, I trust. Under your expert tutelage. I need a little bit more. This is one of those things where I need to sort of say to myself, you have multiple miniatures to do, step away and leave it. Because this is fine. This miniature in this format is absolutely fine. I'm going to put a bit of black around the base, because like that. I like to sort of blacken that off a little bit. There we go. And do some dirt. You can put some dirt on it as well. And that's cool. Yeah, where have you been, Captain Castle? I have not seen you in a little long time, my friend. I hope all is well with you. You've not been working too hard, because that's bad. Oh, wait, where's me? I've lost me. Is that a... Well, that's the stuff. Yeah, that's the problem. I've got nothing to put it in. That's frustrating. What am I going to do there? I know this is intriguing. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm having a medium-sized emotional breakdown. Somebody's stolen, and by somebody I mean I have not put back my little things for putting white spirit in. Oh, that's annoying. Well, at least I found the white spirit, so that's progress, right? Step in the right direction. Oh, Old Man Rogers, you're watching Jonathan Creek with a girlfriend. Hello, the girlfriend. Was away last week, so missed live stream. We have been missed. Painting MCP tonight and daughter painting Moonstone. Nice. Lost my son to the 40k crossover in Helldivers. Yeah, I heard something about that. I hadn't actually seen what it was. Right, we need some dirt. Let's get some dirt. Right. Oof. So we can use this as the base for the base. You know, yeah, anyway. You get the idea. I love this stuff. It's great fun. Although I want to use this brush, and this brush has got stuff all over it. What are we going to do? Does this stuff stink? I can't remember. It doesn't stink that bad, actually. We're going to do the thing that you should never do. I think we probably are. Yes, we are. We're going to do the thing you should never do. There we go. We're going to dump white spirit all over our desk. Right. So this took a little bit of planning. I was impulsive with using the enamels, and I should have planned a little bit better, but I didn't, and this is just where we are, peeps. Right. Let's get some dirt on the base. Let's get some dirt on there. Don't want too much because we're putting snow on here as well. So we're just going to need to go back and hit that snow with a little bit of light effects as well. It's all well and good. Hang on, JJ, is Jonathan Creek still... Are there still new episodes of Jonathan Creek coming out? I would be impressed. Because that is a very old show. At this point. Rules are made to be broken. Yes, yes, they are. Regularly around here. Right, I think that will do. We're just going to let this dry off now. Probably going to stick a bit of grass on there just to make my life even harder when I come to do the OSL on the snow. That's risky doing OSL on the snow. Anyway. That's looking alright, I think. He'll do. He'll do. I think we can all agree. Well, I can agree, and that's the important thing. I think I'm right. Alright, that's clean enough. Still got to figure out what I'm going to do with him. So he's got to look epic for this game, let's be honest. If we're going to run this for several weeks in a game system, we need to have him looking beautiful, so that's going to have to spend some time on that, but that'll wait for a minute. Should we, if we've got the, you know what, we've got the white spirit out, so let's look at this gore effects, because I've not used this yet. I've not used this stuff at all yet, and I kind of want to stick gore effect on there and on his bludgeon. So let's do our little skelly first and see how that pans out, because I'm not really... It smells exactly like nail varnish. Oh, it's got a lovely sort of gooey, sticky consistency to it. Oh, that's really like grimy and love it. If you're English, very treacly. Oh my goodness. First time experimenting with this stuff. Oh, it goes off quite dry quite quickly. And if we can, like... Oh wow, that's a bit thicker than I thought it would be. This bears some experimentation, because this is drying quite quick. Kind of need to like get it on there and then like smudge it. I think better for the bludgeon than on the sword, actually. It is exactly like nail varnish. It's like... Oh, no. Focus on him. There we go. Now you can follow it around. It's really made it kind of sticky and gooey and gross. That's kind of funky. Suitably nasty. Now Why did you do that? Hang on. Arguing with the camera now. Whoop. Hang on. There we go. Back up there. God, always the professional. Always the professional. When did I put that nail varnish on last time? Last weekend. God, it's quite gloopy. It's gloopier than I thought it would be. So this kind of needs you kind of need to work it quite quickly, but actually, woof. Oof. It is literally more gore effect than it is. I was thinking like, there used to be one from GW, I forget what it was called, but it was like blood and all this kind of stuff. This is literally gore. This is body parts and like sinews stuck on it. See, that's turned this bludgeon into just a nasty, vile, gross thing, which is the effect we're going for. That looks like it's been used inappropriately on someone. I love it. I love that. That's okay. This is cool stuff. And stick some on this side so it's not just there. What's that? It's okay. I'll work on the face and stuff. This does not go on the face. That looks cool. I like that. That looks gross. There's a little bit over there. Care of that. That's blood for the blood god. That was the stuff. That is a nice, really, really rough effect. You've got to work it quickly. You can't sort of hang around with it. And it does quite like sticking together. But then, yeah. There we go. Interesting stuff. I'm sure you're aware, but you had a shout on the other channel. Yeah, I did a 40k channel. I forget his name at the top of my head. Yes, I saw, a friend of mine pointed it out to me, and I went over for a look, and yeah, he pointed me to the channel. We got new subscribers for it, which was freaking awesome. That is Dirty Down Gore. That's this stuff. It lives up to its name. This is not, I was like, this is blood. It's not. It is gore. It is just, you've freshly done something unspeakable to another living thing. That is the only way I would describe this. It looks gross. Yeah, no, I saw. Thank you, Captain Castle. It was a real kind of shock, actually. I mean, it's lovely to get that kind of thing, but you don't expect it, and when it happens, it's kind of a major shock. So yeah, it was freaking cool, I have to say, to have that happen. But yeah, he was talking about starting in the oh, that's going to annoy me. Who was it? Happens so often, you know. You forget. Oh, I've lost his name now. I can see the video, I just can't remember his name. Anyway, but yeah, Gaz, thanks. Jeez, Gaz. Wow. Thank you, buddy. That's kind. Thank you very much. You're a very generous individual. Thank you, buddy. It was very kind and very appreciated. You just want me buying more Legion, don't you? You can say it. We both know it's true. I think, I will say though, that Dirty Down Gore has knackered this brush. I mean, this brush was on the way out anyway, but it is properly booked now. For you new people who just became members at the generosity of Kaz, thank you, buddy. You can now join the Discord. You'll find the link in the... I need to put it up again, actually. It's one of the posts under the community tab. Grow, minions, grow! Dude, I was playing Legion years ago. I had what, Rebs, I had CIS, and I had Republic. So I had 3 out of the 4 biggies. So, you know, I am very much one of us. One of us? Yeah, one of us. Oh, that is going off so nicely. I love how that looks. That is brilliant. That's a really good product. It's a bit of, it takes some work to get used to. I need to look at that. But it is now varnish. Excuse me. For instructions, dirtydown.co.uk. We should check that out. Maybe read the instructions before using the product. No! Slap it on, see what happens. That is badass. So yeah. Mr. Bones, thank you, Cosmic. Mr. Bones, that was the one. Scholar and a gentleman. Very kind indeed. I've had a few shout-outs over the years, and it's always been... Oh. I always find it odd. It's lovely, but it's odd. Yeah. But there we go. There's a lot of imposter syndrome in this job. Unless you have the ego to go with it, which I don't, contrary to popular belief. Not quite that bad. It's very, can be very weird. But anyway, do you know what, chaps? This one needs to dry, and this one needs to dry, and then I can continue with the rest of that. This one's kind of done now. I'm going to call him finished with that bit of blood on there. I think he's looking suitably spooky. I feel like Atomic Mass Games should just make their own Star Wars rip-off universe now that Star Wars IP is going down the drain. Yeah, but it's not going. It's complicated, I think. Do I think the new ones are as good as the old ones? No. Do I think the episodes 1 through 3 are as good as 4, 5, and 6? No. Is that an objective fact? No. It's because I grew up with 4, 5, and 6. I think that there's a lot of people, myself included, who will accept a lot of the stuff that comes out from the House of Mouse with Star Wars because it's Star Wars, so I'll watch it. But I think the mistake that a lot of people are making is to think that, or to deal with Star Wars as if it's high art, and it's not, and it never was. It's kitschy, campy fun. So, like, you know, treat it as such and you'll be fine. When you try and make it too much of a thing, then you're building yourself up for disappointment because it's freaking laser swords, my dudes. Much as my nostalgia is very much focused on it, and I love it greatly, it's freaking laser swords. There's, you know, this is not high art. I'm not expecting a grand thing because it never was a grand thing. So yeah, just my 15 euros. It's swirling in a drain. Yeah, but it's too big to... They'll find a way. They always do. There's always going to be another way. They'll do a thing, and then they'll do a thing, and then they'll hit something that works, and then we'll get that for 10 years, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know, Gaming Bench, the beauty of Star Wars is that it allows the imagination to take off, the IP is fine, it's solid stories, it's looking like some more. Is it the greatest thing ever? No. True. You can't keep putting it on a pedestal in space. Exactly. It's fun, enjoyable, and makes people happy. That's the thing, dude. This isn't high art. It never was. You know, I've read some of the novels as well. They're great. But, you know, 1 through 6 is better than Solo's 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, I enjoyed 7. I had a lot of fun with it. It's one of the few movies that I've seen multiple times at the cinema. I watched it myself, loved it, and then I took the now Mrs. Hydra to go and see it projected on the side of a cathedral at night. It was beautiful. It's amazing. That's perfect. It's not high art or drama. It's not. It's popcorn entertainment, and that's why. That's it. That's all it needs. It doesn't need to be anything else. It's a kid movie. There you go, Captain Castle. It's fine. Somehow Star Wars returned. I enjoyed Solo. I have fun with Solo. I've watched it multiple times. Do I think it's a good introduction to the character of Solo that we had in 4, 5 and 6? No. Do I think it's a great film? No. Am I entertained? Yes. Yes, I am. I am entertained. It is a fun movie. It's predictable. It's frequently just is like, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. You know? It's just a machine gun of things that occur, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be the Shawshank Redemption. It's not, you know? But the problem is there's a lot of money to be made around the discourse of how Disney ruined, you know? We live in an era, and it's really hard. It's like, I had a chat with myself when I started this channel, and I've had a chat with myself several times since, because you see the channels that focus on le drama make so much money, make so much growth, and they go further and faster than I do. And there's points when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're editing a video to hit a deadline, and you're just like, stuff it, I'm just going to put, you know, is Infinity dead? Question mark, exclamation mark. You know? And do that. And you see that with the stuff with Star Wars. There is just money to be made slamming it and ripping into it like you're analysing an Oscar performance. It's not. It never was. I'll say this. I love the Mandalorian movie. I took my daughter. She loves Grogu and has a blast. We talked about it, and she has a Grogu doll, and now talks about Star Wars. Win. Hey, Kaz. That's the way forward. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it when it comes out on streaming. I didn't want to go and see it at the cinema. There's very few things these days that really drive me to that. Like I said, I went to see The Odyssey. That was tempted to go and see that a second time, having said I've never seen anything for a second time at the cinema. I'm tempted to go and see that for a second time because that was just oof. But yeah, it didn't draw me enough to go to the cinema. But when it lands on streaming, I'm straight in there. That's the power of Star Wars, not for us hardcore nerds. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I don't know. We live in an era where there's this expectation for a lot of media that just doesn't make any sense. And it's cost companies so much money trying to achieve it. And you just think, just entertain me. Don't try and set me up for the 5th movie that we're on number 1. Leave it alone. You know? I think that's where things get interesting when companies focus on, when productions focus on the purpose of it. It's the same. It's actually the same with wargaming, in my opinion. When I see with certain systems, I'm not going to mention any names. Actually, I'm going to keep this delightfully vague. I might mention a couple of names. There are companies, obviously, that I work with because, you know, we get stuff and all this kind of stuff. And there are companies that I partner with. And as soon as you scrape the surface, you see the accountants there. You see the accountants going, okay, so. And I had a very interesting conversation recently with a member of a company who I've done bits and pieces with, nothing huge, but anyway, that's a different story entirely. And we were talking about a recent change that had been made to the system. And I sort of said, how did the devs feel about that? And this person, not a dev, but knows them, turned around and said, oh, they didn't know. They didn't know until marketing told them that this change was being made to the rule system because it sells more miniatures. And I was like, oof, that's terrible. That is terrible. That's absolutely awful. And another company that I've worked with, I had a conversation with them about the price point for their product. Because they were kind of in a situation like, we need to launch this thing. We don't know what to charge for it because, have you seen how cool it is? Like, yes, I've seen how cool it is, but how much is it going to be? We don't know, but look, these are the features of the thing. You know? It was one of those things where you're like, no, lads, you've got to feed yourselves. You have to feed yourself. The first company is focused on the 5th movie. The other company, I think, will be more successful in the long term because they're making a solid system. They're making a good system that people love and they advocate for and they will enthuse about left, right and centre. The other company is selling a lot of product because people know the IP. Let's go with that. But long term, it's going to die because there are already people involved in it who are like, this system isn't very good. No, it's not. Because they don't care about the system. They care about the contents of your bank account. You know? So I think long term, it's a bad sort of business strategy. But if you've got the money to keep throwing the poop at the wall, then you know some of it's going to stick long enough to keep you in the game. So, have you heard about the cow movie from China? A Southern mum made a stop motion animation that looks awful, but it became famous and outsold Supergirl because it's so bad it's good. Awesome. But yeah, I don't know why there was this anticipation that Supergirl would do great numbers too. I don't get that. I don't. There's this whole subset of the internet that went, see, we told you it would suck because girls and wokeness. And I'm like, no. Supergirl was never as popular. Supergirl isn't as popular as an IP. It's never going to sell as much as Superman, who is just a tentpole and known outside of, you know, much wider than Super. It's not news that didn't do as well. People are stupid. Anyway, is Crisis Protocol a fast learning curve? No idea. Never played it. Capitalism doesn't care about long term. That is absolutely true. Can we make more money for our shareholders? The use is getting deep now. Oh my goodness. Right, people. Right. I need to bail. I need to get out of here. I've got to tidy up some stuff here. So what can you expect this week? Well, this week we're going to get some videos, which is very exciting. This week we are going to be doing the Sand Kingdom stuff. So first thoughts coming on that very, very shortly. We've got some more drop zone stuff, which is going to be cool. And I'm going to try and get... There's something I want to do for Drop Fleet, which is... Yeah, we'll see how that works. And maybe some stuff for Infinity. And maybe some stuff for Warcry. In the next week or so. We'll see how it goes. I need to talk about Seocast and Warcry. That's a conversation we have to have. You know? That's the thing that needs to occur. And in Infinity, there was the whole thing that went out on Reddit with the performance and all the stats and all that kind of stuff. So I've been asked to talk about that, and I think it's an interesting conversation to have. Am I the right person to have it? We shall see. And lots of other stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do. We're busy. The moment there's a lot of ew girls indeed, Evie. Ew girls indeed. Who would want anything to do with them? Ugh. They smell of girl. It's one of those things. I'm in a period at the moment where I'm hitting the whole thing of being a solo creator. Like the next thing to do for Eldfall, I've got like two main things on deck for Eldfall at the moment. I've got getting the Northern Wind stuff up together because I want to do that, and I kind of hype for that big time. So I want to get that out of the door. But I need to finish the Arcanum. Now the next step of the Arcanum requires me to have painted a table of terrain. That's a lot of work. And I've started into it today, but it's a lot of work. So, and I was like, oh, I'll do some of that on stream tonight. And then I realized it's really, really boring. So I'm not going to do that to you. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I need to do. I need to sort of do groundwork for before it can come out into the channel. So anyway, enough of that. Folks, thank you all so very much. Evie, you, good night, take care, sleep well. Kazakis Maximus, your generosity knows no bounds, my friend, and I greatly appreciate it. You're a legend. This will Badger, you're quite right. Wonder Man, not as good as Wonder Woman. Absolutely true. But thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for joining me on this magical mystery tour of painting up a spooky, spooky ghost. Should we have a look at one last look at the spooky ghost before we go? Where are we? There we are. Boop. It's drying up nicely now. I think it's looking okay. I think maybe make that pink a little bit more vibrant. Maybe, I don't know. But it looks all right. I think it looks good. I think that's going to look good on the table. And it's charging across. See, the rust is kind of settled in there now nicely, so that's looking suitably tetanus inducing. This will dry off. We'll put a little bit of, as I say, we'll put a little bit of grass on there, and then I'll get some sand on that base as well, just to finish that off, so it ends up looking like our little spooky man over here. It'll end up looking like this. Because if you don't know, Northern Wind is based on a mountain, so it's going to be very snowy, so we need to get that on there. But yeah, I think he's suitably well done. So anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been a genuine pleasure as ever. You all have a great rest of the week, and you're going to have to call that spooky ghost in every video now. Yeah. Night Lark Beard, take care. Thank you all so much. Take care, and bye.